bartering in a long-term disaster, the sharp stuff. What I mean by sharp stuff, things that can cut and or help you have a better life. You're going to need them more often than not, more in a disaster situation rather than less. You're going to need the knives, you're going to need the chainsaw blades or the saws or whatever it may be, or just more kitchen knives to process food for the vet from the garden or from animals or whatever it may be that you're using them for that day. But in our day-to-day life today, in the modern world, a lot of those items have been supplemented by electronics or getting the processed food already delivered, from these food delivery sites and all these companies, which is great and wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to save time. But from a barter standpoint, in a long-term grid down situation, if you have the resources to sharpen these things, even make these things, or to repair what people already have, it'll make you extremely valuable in your area and your community, and people will come to you for that. Think about it this way: people that are chefs will pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for one knife in high-end restaurants, and then they pay they spend more on paying someone to sharpen it or getting trained to sharpen it themselves than the average person will pay for a set at their house. So it's the value is in there, and people can see it, and you can actually make money now doing that. I know people that go to farmers markets and set up knife sharpening booths at those and make actually a decent side hustle off of that. So you can make money now and be in a position to be known to help others in the future. So that's one thing for there. Things that I encourage having is chainsaw blades, the chainsaw links, and sharpening tools for that. Those can be manual. And people are like, well, what if there's no gasoline or power? Those same blades and stuff can actually be made into really good hand saws that can actually cut down as well, which there's a lot of videos out there. People seeing that type of stuff on YouTube. You can Google that for how to make one of those. Be careful doing it, of course. The knives, the kitchen knives, people are going to need them. They're going to want them. They're going to use them. But most people, more likely than not, the average kitchen knife is not considered a full tang, or if it is, it's a very weak one. At that, it may look full tang and may even be full tang, but they try to make it with the least amount of metal to keep the cost down and to last well. And our society is very disposable, but in a grid down situation, you can't be disposable. So knowing how to work with those types of metals to repair that or strengthen it or replace it would be very helpful for people for barter positions. The axe and saws, a lot of people overlook the ability to make the handles for those. Those are usually the things that break the most, at least in my experience, and what I've talked to other people that use axes and even like bow saws. The saw will break on that. Those are cheap right now. Those are a really good thing to get to. But the knowing how to make a handle for a bow saw out of wood, that's a really good skill. I don't have it, but other people I know do, and that actually can be in the woods with that, and you can really up-level your preparedness that way, and then just also opportunity to process firewood. Axes, splitting mauls, the hand saws, all those things, ways to sharpen them, and also to replace the handles. Again, those break the easiest. You miss one swing with your axe and you hit the handle instead of hit the tree. Sorry, excuse me. Hit the tree with the handle instead of the head. You got a good chance of breaking or cracking it. So ways to reinforce it or to replace them is helpful. And a skill a lot of people don't have now is even how to securely and safely mount those the handles back into the axe heads, which is really relatively simple, easy to teach and learn, but people don't know it, and if you don't know it, you need help. So those are all things to use for sharp things for bartering. It's really pretty simple. Most barter things are, but that it's just having the resources and tools in place, like having the whetstones, having the to sharpen things with, having some oil to put the finish work on with it. And people pay for that today, and they will pay for that after a grid down, because knives and sharp things will be more important in the everyday life to keep going. All right. Hope you guys are doing well, and I want you to be able to be more successful in your preparedness, and go ahead and please get started prepping. Your future self will thank you.